All right. So, like I said, this is a time capsule box I used to put all my, odds and ends of stuff of mine over the years. So, first up, we've got this E.T. drawing. You like my tie? Now, I remember this. And before I see if her name's on it, I think her name was Virginia Love, if I remember correctly. And this, I think going back to like, I want to say like third grade. Third or fourth, somewhere in there. Have an extrial, or an extra, here I go with the words again. Extrial day, but signed Virginia, your former friend. I think this was like the end of a school year or something. She drew this and gave this to me. But yeah, I still got that. Yeah, I think her last name was Love, Virginia Love. She was, trying to think where she sat. She was a black girl I want to say she sat in the desk in front of me, if I'm remembering correctly. And I used to give her trouble over her shoulder stuff when she was drawing and that, or, talk to her or whatever. And she ended up giving me this drawing of E.T. So this is probably going back to like 1980. I guess right when E.T. came out. I don't even know what year that was. Wow, that's cool. So my dad used to do paint by numbers. So of course he would buy me paint by numbers. So this one, I guess, is some of my first paint by numbers. This one and this. So on the back it says February 27th, 1978. So I was 7 years old when I painted these paint by numbers. Kind of like the abstract of it. I like it actually. But of course I'm biased. I wanted to do something. I remember doing it and wanting to do something different because my dad always did it perfect and stayed in the lines and stuff. So when I did it, I wanted to think, I put myself in kind of a sloppy headspace. I still remember doing these. Like, I remember telling myself to don't be normal doing it. Do something different than what I've seen my dad doing. So I purposely tried to make it not perfect. And looking back on it now, I actually really like them. Because I remember my dad or my mom, one of the two, kind of getting upset with me for doing it this way. And not doing it. They felt I just didn't take it seriously and I just kind of wasted it away, But in my eyes, I was trying to not be normal. Trying to not do it the normal way. So I like it. I really do. That's cool. 1978. All right. Next up, we've got the only diploma in my immediate family. At least my blood family. Board of Education. The City of St. Louis. Graduating high school. So there we go. Next up, we've got, I didn't put a date on it, by James H. But I used to find paper in trash cans when I was dumpster driving and stuff. So every time I found like paper, I made sure I kept it so I could draw on it and stuff. But this is the Dukes of Hazzard. With a Tony the Tiger sticker thing on it. So, you like my sign there that says dip with the arrow pointing down? That's so funny. Oh, that's awesome. But if you think that's funny, wait till you see Papa Smurf with 2 ears. Papa Smurf. That's funny. I never was like a comic book person, but I always like made comics. So here's one here, Baby Pac-Man, and then Baby Pac-Man grows up. And by James Halverstay, no date on it. If you look on the back, I don't know who this other person is. Somebody was with me at the time, and they obviously drew better than I did. Because on the back here, there's a ghost that they drew. Their drawings were a lot better than mine at that time. And then you see me here and here. I'm trying to like get a character down. And they came and did their cool little characters. And then I did this down here. I think this one and I don't know if I did that one. It doesn't look like it. I did those, but little comics. Wee, they're playing ball. Ghost comes and says, boo, you don't scare me. Give me that. No. I'm going to beat you up. I am not. You want to bet? No bet about it. I still am. Okay, let's go a few rounds. Okay. Go for it. Okay, creep, go for it. And then Pac-Man eats the ghost. You see the little eyeballs there? You creep, you are. You think you're tough because you have brothers. No, I don't. Are you getting bigger? No. And then I guess baby Pac-Man's growing up. Looks like it. I'm not growing. I'm going to chomp you. No, you ain't. Yes, I am. No, you ain't. And then the last one, Pac-Man's really big. How goofy is that? Here's another one. Baby Pac-Man grows up. Oh, it's the same one, only I was redoing it. I think you're tough because you got brothers. That's funny. So, no date on that. Here's another one with Pac-Man. The Pac family. Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Chomp Chomp, Sourpuss, and the ghosts. That's funny. And then Baby Pac-Man meets Scooby. All right. Pac Baby, come here. I have a surprise for you. What is it? Come in the house. Okay, come in the kitchen. Do you know who this is? No, it's Snoopy. It's Snoopy. Snoopy? And the last one's just they're sitting at a table talking. Where's Woodstock? At home. I didn't even draw the body. Couldn't even draw the body of Snoopy. That's funny. Garfield hovering over the over the table. That's funny. That's comedy right there. Ooh, a note. All right. Oh, this is from Trish. This is a girl I went to high school with. I remember I've been trying to find her on Facebook. I haven't checked in a couple of years, but I can never find her. If you need to talk, you can talk to me. I don't think you're an asshole, and neither does a lot of people. Oh, this is when I think I broke up with this girl I was dating, and then she was going around telling everybody I was an asshole or something like that. All I know is that it's pretty ignorant of her to make poop up. We don't think you're an asshole. You're a great friend. Just remember, I'll be willing to listen if you need someone to talk to. Write back if you want. Before texting. That's funny. I found out the girl was lying to me about stuff, so I dumped her. And so, of course, she went and spread stories. This was made by an ex-girlfriend, Lori, in 1990. So there's her name on it down there. So that's pretty cool. We've got a oh, this is just my classes. Grade 10, my birthday, ID number, my name, American literature, American history, geometry, earth science, office technology, and basic ed. Roosevelt High School, 87 to 88. Your sis, Laura. How would you like to pick out your own Christmas present this year? So we got a Christmas card from my sister from... I hope you like the card. Don't know how long ago that was. But I got all my old crayons from when I was young. Ooh. With a ticket to the St. Louis Zoo. I used to love that train. I've only been on it once as a kid, but I used to love that train. And then a bunch of my old Crayola colors, along with another box of them. We wore these walkie-talkies out, and they've been through hell and back when we were kids, but these things got used constantly around the neighborhood, more around the house and the yard than the neighborhood. But we used to always play with these things. Antennas are broken off and everything. But these things were well played with over the years. So some Radio Shack things there. When my dad would go on his trips driving the truck, most times than not, he would come back with a little something. So he used to come back with these a couple of times when we went to Texas, when we went to Florida. And what these are, just old like pencil, and he still got the pencils not even used in them, and a eraser and pencil sharpener, ruler. It's a little school supply bag they used to sell. So that's the Texas one. See the Florida one, if it's still got the pencils in it. It's got some pencils in it. I don't know if those are original though. But some old stuff. Hi! My old Sound Warehouse badge. I worked for Sound Warehouse before Blockbuster bought them out. It was Blockbuster Music after that, but assistant manager. So that's cool. Let's pull out some just different stuff here real quick. Not sure where I got these rocks, but I used to always love like going through creeks and finding unique rocks. Maybe that one's got a line in it. Thought it was pretty unique. Let's see here. See if I got any kind of fossils or something that I don't know about. That's kind of a cool one. I grabbed this because it almost looked like it was being made into an arrowhead. So that was a cool piece. That one, cool colors on that. That's cool. Little one right there. If you like rocks, this portion's for you. got a little hole in it. Some other little ones here. A little rounded. Nothing major. My back's starting to hurt from bending over. That's kind of cool. Little Dukes of Hazzard. I don't think it works anymore if I remember correctly. The other parts might be in here. It's one of those wrist things. You'd put them in a wrist and had a wrap. You'd wind it up and pop it open and it would take off your arm. So, yeah, it doesn't work. That's cool. I remember as a kid playing with this in the bathtub. And you put a couple of batteries in it. It had a little motor that spun around. Played with in the bathtub. When I was a little nard. Here's my brush from when I was little. Avon brush. So that's old. That's cool. Haven't seen that in forever. Other little school type things. 8 times 5 is 40. I'll tell you the calculator before the calculator. I used to collect all kinds of keys when I'd find them. So I got all kinds of keys here. I wonder if my uncut keys are in here. You remember the car lockups, cars? You click the bottom and the wheels wouldn't roll and stuff, and you could unlock them. So cool keychain there. Ooh. This I probably just threw in because it was cool, but an old belt buckle. Don't remember it having any significance. I don't know where I got it, but so that one really don't have a story. A couple of watches I used to wear way back when, a Tweety Bird, like a hologram Mickey. So that's kind of cool. And the old headphone, the transistor, looks like there's an arm broken off now. The old transistor, transformer style watch radio. It came with a little headphone. Whether it be a robot, you could take it off, pop it off, and make it a 1985 is the date on it. That's cool. I don't really remember wearing it though. Another belt buckle. That's cool. Let's see. I'm gonna definitely have to break this up into more one video, so I'm trying to pull something a little unique or something. Here's the Blockbuster Music pen. What's with the belt buckles? Here's another one with a matching keychain. Oh, my back. Here's my first watch as a small kid. Swiss made, and the little turn thing's gone, but it's Indian, Native American, and the tomahawk used to move with the seconds. So that was my watch, my very first watch. I remember that. I'm surprised that never got lost or anything. Some more keys. Old hotel key. Loading door strap. Kawasaki. That's cool. Another belt buckle. I must have had a thing for belt buckles. Indian metal craft. Let's see here. I used to have papers where I just scribbled stuff on, but this looks like a schedule. I think this is when I worked at Kmart in the shoe department. And I guess this was my schedule of my hours and stuff, keeping track of my pay. 8 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours, 7 hours, 7 hours. Pay per hour, $6.15, $4.10, $4.10 an hour on most of these. $6.15 on Sunday. This is my baby Binky from when I was a baby. So I have the cats on it. So that's old. This was a shirt, I think it was my sister-in-law at the time made for me when I was a kid. So if you like tags, old Sears like tag. So that's cool. Oh yes. I think this was a gift from my dad when he went on a trip once. My daddy, the #1 trucker. So that's cool. That's really cool. When I worked at Kids Mart for a short time. This is from a friend, Mickey. Christmas card. Ah, I see that. I remember that. When I got my first job at Kmart, first thing I wanted to do was buy a VCR. And this is my layaway receipt for my VCR at the time, $199. I had to put in layaway, pay it off over time. That's cool. 1989. That was our family's first VCR. Ooh, yes. Now, there may be some money in here. I remember finding a bunch of stamps. So, as a kid, I think my aunt gave me a bunch of stamps too over time. And I had the stamp book here. There may be money in here. When it comes to value, I don't know. I don't know much about stamps, but I think these were from my aunt. But she would keep old envelopes with stamps on them. And then I remember she would order stamps from some company, and they'd come in these little sleeves. And she'd give me some. Jamestown Stamp Company was the company, I guess. There's a random stamp right there. Let's collect stamps. Put that back in there. And more of the envelopes with stamps on them. Yeah, Jessie Roston. So there's her name. So she would keep all the. That one's from. It says Canada. Area right there. DuQuoin, Illinois. These are just pamphlets about collecting. Let's see what's in this book. Then we got some little ones like this. Try to do this without it falling apart, if there's anything in here. But it has where you can match them up if you have them. I think there's I remember having another book too, but like on this one you can see a bunch of stamps are in here. I think she started this collection. She passed it all on to me. Because she was the one who I think was into collecting stamps, and then I guess she was seeing if I would get into it or whatever. I think there's one there. From Austria. From France. Paraguay. These are from Greece, but there's several Greece ones put in there. So that's cool. I don't know if it's got any value in there or not, but very cool though. History. My history. For other unique-ish items. It's all pretty unique. Another thing of crayons. One of my old favorite toys growing up. I love the way these things rolled at the time. So an old, like a bigger Matchbox fire truck. This is not the one. I remember I got a smaller version of this on a fishing trip with my dad at one time. Because I remember it was on a counter in one of the spin displays and I picked it out. But I don't remember where I got that one. Check out these vintage cars. Some of the cars I played with as a kid. So, Tootsie Toy brand. So, I think these were gifts from my dad on a trip, if I remember correctly. And if I remember correctly, one was mine, one was my sister's. And she never played with it or anything, so I ended up getting it. So, yeah, those are old. So, yeah, I even got booties that I used to wear as a kid. I used to wear these things out. I had several pairs of these. And I remember wearing them down at my aunt's house in DuQuoin, who gave me the stamp collection. And I used to slide all around the house with those things on. They were like ice skates in the house. Back in the day, we used to record songs off the radio. Some of these might even have us just goofing off recording. Because a lot of times we'd have, like, this one was top 20 on July 30th, 1984. But some of these, Monday Night Metal on KC95. But I remember there was one time we had some instruments and stuff in the house, in the basement. And we would record us just making noise, basically. Another watch. 1990, the Upper Deck Company. Just a digital watch there, a little vintage knife. The Truck and Tractor Pull from March 1st, 1987. That was probably my first and only truck and tractor pull I went to. Let's see here, anything else kind of big and unique. Motley Crue meal ticket. I remember a friend back then gave me that. KC Rocks the Rams. Another KC bumper sticker, support the troops. This was a thing I done with a friend who had a band at the time called Breathless. And so that was the image I came up with, and he wanted painted on his wall. Unfortunately, when I painted it on his wall, it didn't come out as good looking as that one did, and it was kind of jacked up. That was my first time ever drawing on a wall, so I wasn't very good with perspectives and stuff. One thing I did collect, because I was able to go through trash, is I would keep business cards. And like old credit cards and stuff. So we got a bunch of old credit cards and different types of cards. Fingerhut cards from my mom. AT&T card from a neighbor at the time. And then I would find various business cards. And I had a hole puncher, if you can't tell. I had a hole puncher back then that was like diamond shaped. And for some reason, I loved using that hole puncher, and I would punch all kinds of stuff. Building and Construction Trades Department, a membership card. I think that was my dad's from 1981. Social Security account number. Ford, Pinto McMahon Ford. Old business card, James Robertson Jr. And like I said, most of these I just found in the trash. But it's all different kinds of stuff. Universal Expert Tailor. Greg's Bar and Grill. Razor Edge. And I cross out people's name and put my name there. Funny. Floorsome Shoe Shop. Found a lot of those, didn't I? Fantastic Sam's in Cape Girardeau. IGA courtesy cashing card. Fingerhood. Hey! Garbage Pail Kid. This is probably something I got when I went with my dad on one of the trips, because he worked for Koken, who made beauty and barber suppliers, but he'd be the person who would install them. And I remember going to a couple of the shows with him. One was in Chicago. I'm not sure if that one was or not. And he would set up at the convention. That's cool. All kinds of old goodies in here. Q106.5. Old radio station from around here. Got a bunch of, not a bunch, but bigger cards. A pen that looks like a plier. So, Masters of the Universe Crayolas. I remember trying to use these, but these were all very waxy, so they didn't work very well. Some of my hair. That was like when I cut off my bangs, I kept, for some reason, kept a part of my bangs. Here's my pen when I worked at Kmart. These, I think, came in cereal boxes. You put them on your bike for a reflector on the spokes. Put them on the tires. Old keychain Rubik's Cube. I'm just going through everything. I might as well. Another pen. Bon Appetit. Imling's Cafe. This is where my aunt worked in DuQuoin, Illinois. Imling's Cafe. Nice. Right there on Main Street. Oh, cool. Iron Maiden. I remember that. It was like a necklace, I believe. And the chain broke, so it wound up in here. Some eyeball keychain. You can't see it because it's like, it's always facing up. 1985 Chief schedule. There's an old picture of me. My layaway tag from the VCR. I think these were Hardee's, the Days of Thunder cars. They may be, they are in here. Well, are these the same ones? Yeah, Days of Thunder 1990. So I think these were Hardee's. Yep, they're Hardee's. Very cool. Another belt buckle. United States of America, 5 cents. Buffalo nickel. Those cards. More of those. They were St. Louis Cardinals football cards. I remember a friend in high school gave me that. Remember Burger Chef? And then they had these cards there at Burger Chef. I used to have tons of those. Another thing my aunt collected was dice. And so she ended up giving me her collection of dice. I got those. She didn't have a lot. I think these are the rest of them. Yeah. I'll try to show you this. Oh, there's some like old looking ones in here too. I don't know if you see the ones on the very bottom there. I don't want to tip it too much and everything fall out. But and some 7-Up dice. So a lot of old die in there. Some small ones too. In an old box. So that was her. And then this one's mine. I don't remember if I ever knew what this one was for. I had one of those. I remember having two. There might be, the second one may be in here. Another pair of footies. I guess I had a thing with footies. see here, some Battlestar Galactica cards along with a whole stack of other cards. Have I got anything worth money in here? Got Philadelphia, the A's, some football cards, Cardinals, football, more of the Burger Chef cards. Looks like a lot of these were cut out of cereal boxes or something back in the day. They used to give them away. Johnny Bench. Not sure if there's anything worth value in here, but there's an old one. Of course, on the back, it's all colored on. Whoops. But that's cool. Saturday Night Fever. The Hulk. Ghost Hunter. Find a Ghost. Superman. Star Wars. A lot of these are just scribbled on and stuff, it looks like. Charlie's Angels. Mork and Mindy. Roosevelt. Or Richard Nixon, I should say. But presidential cards. Very cool. Have some of these thin basketball cards. I remember having a ton of those too. There's another one there. Some more Johnny Davis. More Slam Dunk. Julius Erving. Wonder if these have any value. These were from Topps. I'm gonna look those up. Those would be interesting to know. I got lots of different ones of those. Clippers. Another die keychain. These were toppers on pencils back in the day. You could put them on top of these pencils. These little ones here. Made in Japan. So I got a bunch of different, got an eraser there, pencil. I remember saving my points for Transformers. Never got enough points to get one, but I've got Transformer points. There's probably a lot more of those in here also. I remember this. This was like a play set. It had like a track and stuff. Made in Korea, 1971 Mattel. That's cool. Have no idea where that earring came from. Do not remember. Must have been probably somebody who left it over my house in my teen years. This, I think, was a pencil topper. What year is this? This might be a telling tale of what's the last time I put something in here. 1993. Beavis and Butthead pen. We got more Transformer points. Got a Goodyear balloon. Another pencil topper. Another Burger Chef drawn on. More pencils. Some 3D glasses from Freddy's Dead. Got 2 pairs of those. More cassette tapes. That's funny. That's comedy right there. Roosevelt Summer School with my KC95 shirt on. Too funny. Oh yeah, we had a ton of these like in a drawer in the bedroom. St. Louis, Missouri, Jefferson National Expansion Memorial, 1968, dedication to the Gateway Arch. Coins. I remember we used to have tons of those in a drawer. And this is probably the only one that survived. Mutant Ninja Turtle keychain I use consistently. Fantastic Sam's. Another Blockbuster Music. Looks like these are those, in high school they used to have the cards that you could give away with your name on them. So Cat, Teresa Lowry. She's on Facebook, friends with her. Cat, don't think so. Don't remember her. Sharon, Isabella, Michael Burden, still friends with him on Facebook. Barry Brosh, friends that grew up with. Robert Pitts, not sure if he's on Facebook. I think he used to be. Don't remember that. Don't remember Jessica. Donna Hatton. I think she got heavy into drugs and stuff and kind of went downhill. Let's see, St. Louis Cardinals versus Atlanta Braves in 1983. Coming to America. Went to see that movie at the Esquire. That's cool. Houston, Texas. Probably another souvenir from my dad on one of his trips. Got these colorful pencils. Bobby and Kate. And another card. A couple more cards drawn on there. More of the high school cards. Another watch with the face broke off. I remember wearing that one and wore it so much. Wore it out. Let's see, these are just from 1990. I guess I got a ticket and I had to pay $44 fine for a ticket. Probably my first ticket. That was probably kept for the stamp. Old report card from 1989. Grade D, F, D, B, D, C. Then we got D, 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 B, C, C. Oh, this is the one where American history, I went into it with a negative attitude because everybody always talked bad about the teacher. So I didn't even try. So I went F, D, and then I started liking the way he was teaching. I'm like, why is everybody talking bad about this guy? Then went up to a C, C, and then I think I ended up pulling a B out of his class, and you were hard pressed to get a B out of his class. He was very strict and stern and stuff, but I love the way he taught. So I adapted to it, or got to it, it drew me in the way he taught, and I ended up loving it. And that's one of my biggest reasons for loving history so much. Ooh, I can't show that. That's an air freshener, a naked air freshener. That's funny. Don't remember where that came from. Used to get stickers out of the quarter machines at the grocery stores. Ooh, this is cool. This went 2 Kokins, but look at the old. Came from Honduras to Kokin, where my dad worked. But it's got all these cool stamps on it. Check that out. Date on the back says 1981. That's really cool. Your friend Jenny. That might be Jenny from DuCoin. From a friend Mickey, which friends with her still. She's on Facebook. The one who drew the picture, Lori, I was friends with her until her husband got jealous and then started calling me names and stuff. I have a hard time being friends with exes because their current boyfriends or husbands are always jealous of me. Teresa and Donna B. Some party invite. Don't remember ever going to that. Ooh, letter. Oh, this is like the beginning of answering machines, so I started trying to get creative with answering machines. So let's see what I said here. This is my answering machine. Answer machine, this is my answering machine. Message. Leave your message on my answering machine. Answering machine, leave your message on my answering machine. Oh, I think I wrote a song. This is my answering machine. Answering machine. This is my answering machine. Leave your message on my answering machine. Answering machine. Leave your message on my answering machine. And I will get back to you. Get back to you. Leave your message and I'll get back to you on my answering machine. I had no life. Old car from Record Exchange when they had several locations. Six Flags Tidal Wave brochure. See if they had the upcoming concerts in here at the time. CC and the Music Factory, Timmy T, Tony, High Five. Let's see, Southern Gospel Day, the Lesters, Mid-South Boys, Kingsman, Gold City. Those are the albums I find nowadays that I sell. Oak Ridge Boys, Ricky Van Shelton, Country Fair. They had no rock that year, I guess. At least at the time of printing that. Oh, my mom got me one time where you could put your name in a book. So they would just have books typed out, story, and use your name in them, like they were personalized. So I remember having a couple of those given to me over the years. The Railblazer from Six Flags. Another report card. DFDB DC. Yeah, I wasn't too fond of school. Why I kept that? That's because it was Tweety Bird. I had it hanging up at one time. Because I got a Tweety Bird tattoo, so everybody started buying me Tweety Bird and giving me Tweety Bird stuff. This is what my money came in at when I worked at Kmart. I ended up getting $92.89 in this one at $4.10 an hour in 1990. And a card, you're invited to what? Ah, Charles De La Garza. I'm still friends with him on Facebook. I should put that in there and tag him. I think I'm going to do that. He'd probably get a kick out of that. Oh, another, oh, this is one of those where they update you, non-satisfactory, satisfactory, or not applicable maybe. Unsatisfactory, satisfactory. Played mini golf once. Bowling. This is my highest bowling. Yeah, I think this was my highest bowling score on here. So 198 and 201 and 185. I guess there was a picture in there. I went and stayed with my brother down in Annapolis, Missouri for about 6 months. This is a letter from my mom. She would send me money. 1985. Dear James, try not to spend this as fast as you did the other money. I used to buy candy for all of us kids. Because we did, Kevin and Amanda. Because we would never get really any treats or anything, so I used my money to buy us candy. Janet got moved last weekend. I was a friend of hers, and Matt doesn't like it there. Matt's a guy I went to school with. I think they moved from like the city out to Imperial, Missouri. He started school yesterday. Janet and Brad, Matt's little brother, doesn't like it either. Tom went on a trip last night in the truck, and your dad wanted to go, but they didn't think he was strong enough to drive the truck all night. It made him mad. I wonder what was wrong with my dad at that time. I don't remember. Steve Myers called, a friend I grew up with, and said that he wanted to make up with you because we got in a fight. And I told him that you weren't going to have anything to do with him anymore. That was Sunday when we came back home. He hasn't gotten anyone to play with now. Well, there isn't any more going on here, so I guess I will close for now. We all love you. Start doing better in gym class. I hope they get him out. Love, Dad, Mom, and Laura, and Pepper. That gym class, the teacher, we'd have to run around the neighborhood, run around a block. And if you weren't fast enough, he made you do it again. Well, what makes you think if I can't run the first time, being wore out the second time, I'm going to be able to run faster? So he'd make you run until you met that time. So as on my second lap around, after I cursed him out or whatever, because I was a city kid coming down to a country school, they still paddled people back then. And I would always try to make them paddle me. I'd be like, you tried to paddle me, you're gonna be fighting. We're gonna be fighting, because I wasn't gonna put up with it. So I was like not having this old country way of thinking down there. And this is what, 85 I said? And I wasn't playing by their rules. I came from the city, and you ain't doing that stuff on me. But on my second time around, I saw my brother across the street and my stepsister at the time eating at the diner. They always ate when we went to school. And then when we were at the house, we all had to eat bologna sandwiches. That's how kind of selfish he was. And we kind of ran in the family. But so I ran across the street to him and told them, this guy's trying to make me run again, and I didn't make it the first time. I'm not going to make it this time. So they ended up going back to the school with me, and he ended up getting in trouble and stuff for kind of just making the kids do that and just be. I remember being very, verbally abusive, if you will. Here is the paper for that Transformer watch thing. Chronoform, robot radio time machine. That's from Steve, the friend I grew up with when he was in Florida. I bet you thought I wouldn't write. Well, I did better than that. I got you a blonde. That's funny. Cards from friends over the years. I remember that TV show. This is when my aunt passed away. The first time I had anybody pass away in my life. In DuQuoin, Illinois. Jesse Ralston, born January 11th, 1927. Died March 12th, 1990. DuQuoin, Illinois. The first song I ever wrote that a friend of mine ended up putting to music, called Someone Special. The look in your eyes made the pain go away. The way that you look, the things that you say, the niceness in your heart that I could feel. You took my heart, made it heal. This is like 80s stuff. Before I met you, I could not believe that the pain I had would ever leave. The day that you'd come along, I felt that the pain was already gone. You were sweet and took my soul. You made my heart start to roll. Took my heart, made it heal. No more low down feelings I had to feel. Because you're someone special I know who makes me shine, makes me glow. In a life where love should always be. With that warmth inside your heart, hope our friendship will never part. You're someone special to me. More cards. Student library card. When I said my dad didn't really know how to read and write and stuff, that was my dad's signature. Classes. Cards. DDBBCC. some old, like, money or something. April Fool's Top 10. Layaway papers for that VCR. That VCR must have been a lot. It did. An old mailing that had Nightmare Before Christmas on it. Blockbuster Music check. Check stub. Maybe. There it is. $214.77. Gross pay at the end of the year, $11,574. Bag of some sort. Yucca. Oh, I think this came from overseas. A friend of mine, I think, came back and brought me a gift or something, and that was in it. The final code to Mario is missing. Another Kmart thing. A rose somebody drew me. No name on it. I think that might have been that same Lori girl. And C, D, D, A, C, B. There's an A. What's the A in? Physical education. Cars, 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 cars. Motley Crue. I think this came from overseas. A friend of mine, when she, printed in England when she was on vacation or something. Card. More stickers. Letters and cards from people. One of my old driver's license. It's got the social on it, so I can't show the thing. I'll show the picture though. It's kind of funny. Patricia Stevens College, a friend of mine who wrote the Mickey, who Fuddruckers hat, graduated from there. I'm gonna look this name up. Is his full name on here? Yes, it is. This is like first grade, I think, 1982. So I was 11, and we had pen pals in school. Dear James, I was glad to get your letter. I am 10 years old. I was born in 1971. My birthday is May 4th. I like to ride bikes and to play baseball, soccer, hockey, and kickball. I have one brother and no sisters, one dog and one cat. My dog is tan and white, and my cat is black and white. Their names are Sugar and Boots. I went to Las Vegas. I just got back yesterday. While I was in that part of the country, I went to California and Disneyland too. Your friend, Steven Southards. I'm gonna look that name up and say, hey, is this you? Ooh, an old sketch pad. What is that? Got a basketball scene going there. KWK going on over there. Radio station that was here. Just a nighttime scene. I'm not sure what year this was yet. That's funny. What the hell's going on there? Good Lord. Trying to draw in different perspectives, but it didn't work out good back then. That's funny. I had a hard time drawing like 3D-ish back then, apparently. Learning, trying to figure that out. Baseball. There we go, some Snoopy. Look a little better. Charlie Brown. I wonder if I traced those. I may have traced those since they look so clean. Probably traced those. Pink Panther, I'm pretty sure I traced that too from something. Here's one of my little first books I ever got. Little Indians. Got the twine holding it together. But yeah, I remember this. That's cool. Another one of those. I'd make my own little name tags at Kmart. So I made that. Motley Crue. Hey, remember these? Seen better days, but the old Casio. Oh. Pac-Man and Mario watches. They didn't fare too well. Nothing in there. And world champion Thomas Hildebrand, one of my early school friends. Still friends with him on Facebook too. So there we go. Old magazine. Pretty cool. That trip down memory lane there. I'll put all this stuff back in here. Do a little check on some of these people and see if they're still around, and tag some people and some stuff. That'd be fun. But anyway, all right. Thanks everybody for watching my trip down this memory lane, seeing some old stuff. So thanks everybody for watching. See y'all later.